Welcome everyone, really excited to be here. Thanks to Rachel, and really excited to be part of the Girls Rugby Club. So as you might see, there's me visually on this screen, but I also have another screen which we're going to mainly be focusing on. So you can see me cooking and you can see the ingredients as we go. But yeah, enjoy it. I'll make loads of suggestions of other options for making this recipe as we go, so you can try it again and again with different ingredients. But enjoy it, and hopefully we'll have a tasty snack by the end.
And girls, if some of you maybe aren't doing the cook along, feel free to put a couple of questions in that I can ask Lauren during while she's making and describing everything to you guys. So feel free to add some questions to the chat that I can also, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure you should all know, we're going to be doing an Instagram live after this Q&A. So any questions that we don't ask on here, we can also answer on there. So I will hand you over. Make sure you've all washed your hands and you're ready to cook. You're unmuted.
Right, so can everyone hear me? Yes, perfect. All right, Ace, I can't. Oh, there we go. Maybe I can hear everyone this way. All right, guys. So ingredients, hopefully everyone has them all set out, but we've got some oats here. So rolled oats, any kind of porridge oats, you'd normally have porridge in with the morning. We also have a medium banana, which we're going to mash up very soon. We're going to have some kind of honey. Alternatively, as we've just had pancake day, if anyone has any spare golden syrup, that will also work very well. So whichever one you want to use. We've got some desiccated coconut, or this really small white mashed up coconut to roll the energy bites in at the end. And then we've got some extra ingredients that are mixed seeds, or any type of seeds that you want to add to them. And we've got some dried fruit. So I've chosen some cranberries here today, but you can use sultanas, apricots, any kind of extra dried fruit that you want to add to it. So what we will start off with, I will move all my ingredients aside, and we're going to get our big mixing bowl together, and we're going to start to mix all of our dry ingredients. So for this, we will need our measuring cups. So everyone hopefully has some measuring cups with them today. So what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 cups of oats and put it into our big bowl. So if everyone wants to measure that out, we've got like this. So we've got 1 cup in, and then we're going to pop our 2nd cup in as well. So make sure it's nice and full. Okay, just like we're making porridge essentially. Okay, so that's the basis and the start. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our 1/2 cup, and we're going to add in our dried fruit. So whichever dried fruit you have, we're going to add in 1/2 cup of dried fruit to that mix. All right, so add that in and we'll mix it all up in a second. The next ingredient, what we're going to do is we're going to add is the dried seeds. So these are really healthy and really good for us. Loads of healthy fats and good sources of fiber and vitamins and minerals. And it's great if we're able to try and include these each day in our diet. So this snack is a really good option. So again, we're going to add 1/2 cup of mixed seeds, if I can open my bag. So these, if you can see, these are the little pumpkin seeds. And then you've got smaller ones like sunflower seeds and some other ones. So if you wanted to just add one or the other, you could do. But sometimes a nice mix of 4 different options is a good one. So add in 1/2 cup. You'll see there, a few of them jumping out of my measuring mix. All right, so 1/2 cup goes in the bowl. All right, so next thing what we're going to do is we're going to take our mixing spoon and we're just going to give them a bit of a mix to make sure everything's well mixed in together. All right, how are we all doing? I see a lot of mixing spoons, everyone mixing around. I think we've got some mums and dads helping out as well, which is good to see. So we make sure it's all well mixed and it looks nice and tasty. All right, so once that's mixed, we're gonna pop that to the side and we're going to get one of our smaller bowls and a fork. Now we're gonna mash this banana together. You could, if you had a blender, you could blend it, but I kind of like bits of chunky banana together, nice and tasty. Big fan of bananas myself. Bananas are also themselves are a great option to have in terms of a snack before training, or even after training as well. Loads of good vitamins, minerals, good source of carbohydrates too. So we're all going to get our forks, or if you have a potato masher or something like that, and we're going to have a good mash. This is where we need some elbow grease for everyone to mash it really well. So hopefully our arms aren't too sore from your session with Jade yesterday to be able to mash these bananas. And the tricky thing with this is about kind of how ripe your banana was. So mine was pretty yellow, which looks great. If yours is a little browner, then that's absolutely fine. And it's probably going to be a little bit sweeter as well. Sometimes if they're a little bit green, they might be a little bit harder to digest. So we try and say, wait until they're nice and ripe and yellow. How's everyone getting on? We're still mashing our banana. So these snacks, these energy bites are something that I make pretty much every week. They'll keep in the fridge for about 3 to 4 days. So they're great to make a batch. We're going to make 12 of them today, and you can have 1 or 2 at a time. But if any of you guys are going back to school over the next few months, they're a great option to pop into a lunch box and bring in with you as well, which is always handy to have those good snacks in. So, right, everyone has their bananas mashed? Yeah, excellent. All right, so next thing what we're going to do is we're going to get a tablespoon. Right, I'll pop away my mashing banana. We're going to get a tablespoon and we're going to measure out our honey or golden syrup if you have that as well. So we're going to put 4 tablespoons of our honey in with our banana. So measure that out, nice runny honey. And go and add that into your bananas. So this recipe is 4 tablespoons of honey, but if you wanted to, you could use 3 tablespoons of honey, and you could put a tablespoon of peanut butter in it. Anyone out there like peanut butter? Yeah, a few hands have gone up there, absolutely. So again, peanut butter, peanuts, great option. To add in for a slightly different flavor. But today we're just going to stick with the honey and bananas. So mix that in well now with your spoon. Keep mixing it away and it'll all blend in together. All right, and that is our wet ingredients all set. Is everyone the same? Oh, some people are tasting that nice sweet honey as well. All right, okay, so mashed banana and honey are all set. So we're going to bring back our dry ingredients. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients like that. So make sure we get all of that lovely goodness from the bananas and the honey. And we'll add that in. All right, so we'll put that bowl to the side. And essentially with your spoon, we're going to get mixing. Now, very soon, hopefully everyone will have their hands nice and clean, because we're going to get our hands in and get mixing with our hands. But to start with, we're going to just mix it all up with the spoon and make sure that all the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients are all mixed together. All right, loads of mixing going on there. Elbows high, mixing away. Some extra honey being added by people. Another variation, if you wanted slightly chocolate flavored, instead of the 2 cups of oats, you could add a little bit of extra cocoa powder, so they could be chocolate flavored. So that's another good idea. Another idea is what you could do is you could add the zest of some oranges, so it could be chocolate orange flavored too, if you wanted to. Everyone's still mixing away. Okay, so before we get mixing these into some ball shapes, what I'm going to do now is make sure we have a little plate beside us. And what we're going to do with that little plate is we're going to put some of this desiccated coconut out on the plate. So as soon as we roll them all up together, we can roll them onto the plate and then into our lunchbox or into our bowl, whichever one that we're storing them in to start with. All right. So does everyone have clean hands now? I might give everyone 30 seconds to a minute to just go clean their hands to make sure before we put our hands into this mixture that everyone's nice and clean. So I'm going to quickly clean my hands. Oh, and fine. Grand. And tablecloth, make sure they're nice and dry as well, girls. Oh, I see someone on the photo has an Irish jersey on them as well. Who's that? A Sophia. How you doing, Sophia? That's great attire for today. Well done. All right. So everyone's now got clean hands, which is great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our hands dirty. So this is the fun part of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our hands in and we're going to take a small handful of the mixture and we're going to squeeze it all together. So squeeze it into a ball that shape. We can roll it around if we want, but make sure we've squeezed them nice and tight. So essentially we get a little ball like that, all stuck together. We're going to pop it into the desiccated coconut. We're going to roll it around so it's covered. It's like snow, although there's no snow left out now where we've got sunshine with us nice. Tap it off, and essentially there we have it. So we're going to pop that into our lunchbox or our bowl or whichever option we have. And we're going to crack on and keep making the rest because we've got 12 of these to make now. So again, loads of different variations of this recipe. But as long as you've got oats, honey, and a banana, that's the most basic. It's almost like banana bread. The really basic recipe that you need, and then you can add anything you want. Most people were probably making pancakes yesterday, so they probably have loads of different ingredients left over from their pancakes, which would be really good ideas. Most people add kind of your golden syrup and lemon or things like that. I mean, you could add a little bit of Nutella to these if you wanted to, but I didn't tell you that. All right, so we're still rolling away. Everyone's rolling away and making loads of these nice energy bites.
Lauren, when would
does everyone
eat these or have these?
Oh, sorry. Let me just turn you up. Sorry, say that again, Rach.
I was saying, when would you typically eat these, or what around your training? When would you have them?
Yeah, so really good question. So for me, I'd probably have these as a snack before I go to training. So usually I'd have, say if we train in the evening times, I'd have my dinner or my last kind of big meal about 3 hours or 2 to 3 hours beforehand. But I'm always a bit hungry going into that session. So I make sure I have kind of 1 or 2 of these about an hour or so before training. So they're not too much that they're going to fill you up. but it's just enough to give you that energy just before you go into a training session, to make sure that you can give as best as you can for the session. And sometimes I make some extra, and I bring some extra in for the girls. They definitely prefer, the Sail Sharks girls definitely prefer the chocolate flavored ones with some cocoa powder, which I'd say a lot of people do. But yeah, really good snack. You could have these after training as well. So especially if any of you girls train in the evening times, and you might not want to come home and have kind of a big main meal if it's late, you could always have 2 or 3 of these and maybe a glass of milk would be a really good idea to have them with, a nice snack before you head off to bed. What kind of snacks do you have before training, Rach?
I'm quite basic, so I'll have a banana on its own, or have it with some yogurt. Just quite simple, really. I don't know if you're the same, but I don't like to really eat too close to training, so do have it a little bit out from when training starts. But we just had a question come in as well about, can you bake these? So could you put them in the oven at all?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I would say absolutely, give it a go. I don't know what they would turn out like. I would say if you were going to bake them, I'd probably make them into the shape of maybe a cookie. So I'd probably make them a bit flat, like that, just in case if they were kind of round shapes, they might fall apart. But, if someone actually does go out there and bake them, let us know, because that will be an interesting change to the recipe. But yeah, good idea. A budding chef we have on that. In terms of eating around training, though, I think so. I played loads of sport in secondary school. I played basketball mainly, actually. I didn't start playing rugby until I was 25. So I played basketball for 15 years, and I played loads in secondary school. And we didn't always have a lot of time in between classes and training to actually eat. So I always ended up eating really close to training. So I'm actually quite used to it and could eat pretty much a main meal half an hour beforehand if I needed to. But I suppose the important part there is giving your body enough time to digest the food. So there's a mix between how comfortable people are in terms of having food in how much food in their tummy, but also your body needs time to digest the food and get into your muscles and all the energy that we're getting from these energy bites, to make sure that it's actually in our system and that our muscles have access to it. But yeah, I'm pretty easygoing in terms of timing. But then in fairness, on game day, I'm with a little bit of nerves. I probably need a bit more time to digest.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to ask you a question around, obviously we've talked about eating these, before training or after training, but they're also a good snack just to have generally, even on a rest day or in a packed lunchbox, that type of thing.
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think they're a great snack to have. I think, yeah, that idea in the lunchbox heading to school is a really good one. There are loads of fibers, loads of vitamins and minerals. There's loads of different options with them, as I mentioned before. I think they're an excellent idea to have for school, and because they'll stay in the fridge for about 3 days, you can keep them and you can make a bit of a batch. And especially, it looks like some of you have got some sisters and brothers there as well, so maybe some of you guys could make a batch of these, and a few of you could bring them to school in the future, or in between if you're homeschooling at home. After this week, you could always have them in the afternoon. Treat your parents to them as well, or other siblings. But yeah, really healthy, loads of goodness, and a really simple recipe. I mean, I'm just at the end here. I've probably got one energy bite left to to make. How's everyone else going? Are we nearly there? We've all used, oh, lovely lunchbox full from Freya there. Well done. Oh, my last ones. Some people ask quite a lot about having these during training sessions. A lot of people think that, or are kind of asking, should I be eating during training sessions? And usually what we say is that if your training sessions are about an hour or maybe an hour and a half, you're probably fine with not needing to eat anything during. If your training sessions are lasting a lot longer, or for example, you're playing maybe a tournament, or playing a few games during a day, or playing sevens or something like that, having these as a snack in between games will be quite good, or training sessions. But most of the time, we don't really need to eat very much. We really need to focus on what we're drinking and making sure that we're drinking enough of water during a training session. That's probably the most important thing, and especially since it's getting a bit warmer now. All right, so I've used up nearly all my batter. There's only a few little bits at the end, and this is our result. Look at them, absolutely delicious. Now the final part of this recipe is for you all to give them a bit of a try and see what they taste like. This is the true test. Sadly, Rach, I can't actually give you one to try.
I'm guessing it's great.
Yeah.
So is everyone going to be brave enough to try?
See what everyone thinks.
Go for it, girls.
Enjoy.
Give us a thumbs up, or maybe a wobbly thumb, not sure. Ruby's giving us a
hopefully all thumbs up.
Great, so simple, yet packed with so much. And I would have thought you all enjoyed actually making them together, making them with your family maybe. Very simple, and also like Lauren puts out lots of little different recipes like this, so make sure you do follow her on Instagram. We are going to do an Instagram live. Hopefully you'll have Instagram. If you, maybe your parents might have it, so you can jump on and join there, but we are going to jump over there and do a live Q&A. I know some of you have sent your questions in on here, but if you also send them in on Instagram, then I can definitely ask those questions to be answered. God, got there in the end. I need one of those energy balls.
Yeah, exactly.
But girls, really, really impressive to see everybody getting stuck in. And like I say, it doesn't matter if you didn't actually cook along with Lauren during today. Make sure that you've written the recipe down. It's all on emails and everything that's been sent to your parents, so you should have them. And also, like, if you decide to, maybe make some more tomorrow, but you add a few chocolate chips, or you add some different nuts or something like that, then share it with us so we can see the progress that you guys are making. Because as you guys all move, through your age groups and you continue your development, nutrition is one of the biggest things that is, elite athletes have to really, really focus on. It really does support your growth and your development, but also has a massive part to play with your performance. But we'll get into some of that with Lauren on the Instagram live. But well done, everybody. Maybe clean your hands before you get your hands all over your sticky phone for the Instagram live. But thank you so much, Lauren, and hopefully we'll see you all in about 5 minutes, we'll say.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.